Here we go. Good evening, guys. Welcome to another episode of the
Good evening,
Unfiltered
everyone.
Historian. What we
And
have here today is a little different for our unfiltered conversations. It's a recap of everything we got to do this past week. And Darren's here in the terminal getting ready to board his flight to go back to the UK. So that long flight across the pond. So before you
woohoo!
go, yeah, woohoo. It's so exciting. I miss him already. I feel like I have my whole vocabulary's been attained now because you've been here. And now I have no one to share with and practice with.
That's it.
But
It's
man,
done.
it
It
was
was
awesome having you
emotional.
here. Yeah, it was. It was. It was a hell of a week. I'll tell you that. Especially
Well,
the
I can tell
Fredericksburg
you now, we
159.
had a lot of good luck along the way. We met some very influential people from the Civil War world, and I do honestly believe that they're now taking us very seriously.
That'd be awesome. I hope so. I mean, we came out here to try and do this, and
That's
by
what it's
doing this
about.
is having these conversations and taking just a different approach to everything. And it is unconventional, and I've understood that. But it's the new approach. It's a new way, and it is engaging too. It has people that want to talk. Especially with the conversations we have and where we go. And we have some fun too while we're doing it, but it's all at the end of the day to commemorate what happened at these battlefields and bring attention to them. You know what I mean? So like there is an end goal or controlled chaos, if you will.
So, shall we talk about some of our favourite parts of it?
Yeah, I think that would be good. That's really a good idea, actually. There's
Hmm.
so much to talk about. So
Well,
how we
yeah,
cram this into an hour
there's
or
so
so, we
much
can do that.
really. But standing on that slaughter pen farm last Monday morning,
Yeah.
that nice little surprise, that was probably one of the best moments ever. I mean, you're never going to beat that.
Mm-mm. Especially we like with the frost and the temperature it
Yeah,
was, and just having it to yourself for a minute to be able to spend that time out there. And we filmed for a second, but we spent most of our time that part of the trip where we first initially went to Slaughter Pen, just kind of understanding what it was like to be there 159 years to the day, or making sense of that, because it's definitely a powerful feeling. And to stand there and be able to make sense of that and just really soak all that in, that was really, really fun and just powerful experience.
and of course the banter. You know, the banter was brilliant.
Yes,
Daryl,
it was.
I know who you are. Thanks for my little bag of coffee. I'm going
Yes.
to film a little video of me making a coffee when I get home in the morning.
Oh, I can't
Because
wait
it's
for
night
that.
flight, so I don't land. I land UK time 10 p.m. in the morning. So I'm literally flying overnight. I can never sleep on a plane anyway, so that's me knackered. But anyway, I'll give it a go.
There
But
you
yeah,
go.
I'm going to have a coffee for Daryl. And anyway, so today somebody else turned up when I was out. So I went to a couple of forts today. I went to a place called Foot to start off with. Then they carried on, and we went to this other fort, but I can't remember what it was called now. But anyway, I met a fellow reenactor there, and he reenacted the Third U.S. Infantry, and he gave me a couple of little gifts,
Oh, really?
and he actually gave me a bullet from one of the battlefields.
Oh,
So
wow.
I've added that to Daryl's little collection. That was quite nice. And his name's Peter. I can't remember his second name. You know, he's your friend on Facebook, Peter Pelosi or something.
Uh huh.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. So I met him, and he showed me around Alexandria today. We had
Oh,
lunch
cool.
in a really old building where George Washington and Robert E. Lee have, been in the past. I can't remember what it was called. It was some kind of tavern anyway.
Hmm.
And he talked me into having a Sam Adams.
Did you like it?
It was good actually. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'm glad to hear that.
Um, but the funniest thing that happened to me is I was sitting at the table. So we had Brian Cheesebro there, great historian, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Jesse was there as well. But anyway, so this woman came over to take a picture of something on the wall, and he turned around and went, hey, do you know who you've got here? And he embarrassed me. He went, you've got the best historian in this field from the UK here,
That's
as in
awesome.
like the best like in from the UK in this field sort of thing. And I just went, shut up, mate. You know. So
That's awesome to hear, man.
no, his stuff's so good, and you know our stuff is good. You know,
It's
we've
beautiful.
impressed a lot of people. You know.
Well, that's awesome to hear. Now, what else? We did on the Fredericksburg 159 that really stuck out to me too, and I think you could probably echo the same, is when we actually went to do the aftermath filming a day or two after, when we met up with Jason and had that experience
Oh,
meeting a new
that was
friend in
one
the
of, I
field
was going to
too.
say, meeting Jason was one of the highlights of my trip.
Yeah, that was a really interesting
I don't
aspect
know,
to it.
there was just an instant connection with that man straight away.
And it goes to prove, just like that's how Civil War Field is. When you meet those friends out there, you could be out there just
And
studying or going to a site.
I've
And
not heard from Jason since, so if he's watching
I
tonight, come and
have.
join.
He's
Yeah.
reached out and thanked us again. So, definitely have. He's still out there and wants us to keep up
And
with
I
him.
did
And
send
we
him
will
a
for
friend
sure.
request, but I didn't see any, if I got one back.
Okay.
But if he's watching tonight, come and join us for 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, we
He's
have the
part of
link
this lot.
available.
Yeah, if you're watching, if you want the link, Tyler will send it to you.
I do have it. I
But
do
there
have
you
a
go.
link.
Also, let's talk about sitting there having a beer and a whiskey with Terry Renshaw last night.
That
And
was
my
fun.
God, we had some deep discussions about the Civil War.
Yes, we
That
did.
was
And that's what
that
I
was
love to do. Especially we were doing that in downtown Fredericksburg, which made it that much cooler. And just to sit there and be able, and all the friends that came out last night to the
well,
rebellion
yeah,
with us, that was
yeah.
really awesome. So thank you, our
It
friends,
was
for
great
showing
to
up
see
and supporting us.
Derek.
Yes, it
Derek's a
was.
great supporter of all of our pages, not just on Facebook but Instagram as well. He's subscribed to all of our YouTube channels.
Yep.
He knows a lot,
Yes, he does. And it was awesome to have him at dinner last night and talk to him. And
he's like, he's our like super fan. But we love
he,
him. We love
we
him,
do. No, absolutely. I was really happy to have
and
him
he's
aboard.
actually a very nice guy as well. So Derek, if you're watching, mate, we love you.
Absolutely. And Noel, thank you too for your support as well this week. That has been
Noel,
incredible, and
you're
I'm
just
glad you enjoyed
amazing.
these
So,
videos.
yeah, I was supposed to phone Noel and I forgot to. So I do apologise, Noel, when you listen to this later on, when you're doing your housework or doing your work. Sorry, I'll try and do it later on another time, all right?
Yeah, I need to catch up with Noel too soon. It's been a while.
But yeah, so I mean, Fredericksburg Live for me is the best thing I think we've ever produced. Yes, we have some good unfiltered conversations, but there's nothing better than actually being on the ground and walking the ground on the anniversary and smashing it out the ballpark.
I don't know, that was an incredible experience. And another thing, obviously, was going to Antietam and spending that
Yeah,
time we did there. That was, man,
and
that was cool.
I haven't watched Tim's videos back yet, but I was there live. I did watch them live, but I take it you put some of them up today, did you?
They're all up, yeah. They're on the
Yeah,
YouTube
I just
page and they're
haven't
on
had
the
a chance
Facebook
to
page.
share anything today because I've been so busy. But
Understood.
tomorrow, guys, I'll be sharing this stuff around. I'm still halfway through sharing our first lot of Fredericksburg stuff yet, so but it will come round and it'll get shared, all right, into all the groups. You'll be able to see all of our content.
I love it. And it's just, I love how we feed off each other, man, when it comes to that.
Now,
Like,
one thing I definitely got from Antietam is I can look at a book now and I can understand it better. And this is what we
yes.
keep saying. Well, if you don't stand there, you're never going to understand it. Now,
Want to talk about
yeah,
this?
and this is it. This was the biggest surprise ever that we came across when we
Yeah.
got there.
This is awesome.
So I want to give a big shout out to the what is their trust called? I can't remember. It's called the Antietam
Antietam Institute.
Institute. So Antietam Institute. If any of you guys watch this, it was lovely meeting most of the authors. Apparently, not all of them were there, but this book is so exciting.
It is.
I mean, the work that's gone into this is unreal.
And for those that are familiar with Brigades of Gettysburg, Bradley Gottfried, this is the Brigades of Antietam, and it's got a collection of all the brigades, just similar to Gettysburg, and it has a bunch of contributors. It did such a good job, and I've been thumbing through it all afternoon, just kind of looking at some stuff because there was a thing Tim mentioned to me probably early Wednesday or Thursday of this week, and he was like, "Wait, I wanted to write something about this experience I've had, but what came out of this was the rock ledge, actually, Darren. That's my
Yeah, that was one of the best things ever. I mean, I never knew anything about that at all. That was so cool to people have pointed
I
out.
knew very little,
On
but it
film,
always fascinated me. Yeah, and then
yeah,
seeing that on film with Tim just
yeah.
explaining that so vividly and making that come to life virtually was just incredible, and it stuck with me. And I'm like, this is something I think I want to dive a little deeper into. So I've gone through some of the Iron Brigade stuff, specifically with the 7th Wisconsin and the 19th Indiana, and I'm going through some of the ORs, and I'm trying to find some other sources here and there, and I might,
So,
do a video about it
is
and
there
even a
anything
follow-up
about
piece.
this? Is there anything about that in that book that you've pulled out yet from that actual? So, I mean, because that lady there, excuse me, I
Yeah,
can't remember her name.
Sharon, she covers that one
Sharon.
too. Mhm.
So she's covered that, so she knows about that.
Yeah,
So
the
that's
Iron
cool.
Brigade. Yeah, she did the
Yeah.
Iron Brigade piece, so that should be in there. And I'll also look, like I said, the official records. There would be, I'm
But
sure, some information there.
getting to, I mean, unfortunately, we missed half the speech, half
I
the people
know.
speak. Who I did hear speak, I was just in awe of these people. You know, these people have been studying this battle for 40 odd years. You know, like most of them. This has been their career. You know, and
Right?
to meet some of them in person, it was a real treat. You know,
I
and it
agree.
finished off just right. You know, and but this is the thing, guys. Me and Tyler have been doing this all week. There's people have just been like we bumped into like the godfather of the Spotsylvania Fredericksburg Trust, you know, it's Frank O'Reilly, you know, the other day. We didn't expect to bump into this guy, and he's just there, you know, all of a sudden, wasn't he, you know? And every time, and also, you know, other little things that have come along over the week that, you know, potentially could change somebody's life. And
Yeah.
you know who you are.
But yeah, I mean, it's an incredible experience this week. One that I didn't
Oh,
even fathom.
standing in between the cedar trees with Chris Mikowski and him plugging our page,
Yeah,
you
that
know?
was incredible.
The ECW believe in what we're doing, and it's so great.
And they're an inspiration too, man. Like what they've done and how they continue to be in this field. Such a tremendously helping hand, and it's
Yeah,
just a great organization. And I can't speak highly of them.
no.
They've definitely inspired a lot of our work as well.
And
Like,
the biggest surprise for you last night is I got to meet the tattooed historian in person.
I know that was
I
awesome.
mean, for
Sean's a
me, I was
great buddy.
I mean, I tried not to act like it, but John, if you do watch this back, mate, I was a little bit starstruck because I'm sitting there. I've seen you on interviews and stuff, and for me, I'm sitting there thinking it's the real guy, you know. I'm sitting there, and all the time, I mean, I don't react like that because that's not me, you know. But I actually got to shake your hand, you know. You're a lovely bloke, you know. So keep up your good work, you know. And it's a shame you
Yeah,
didn't join us for the Fredericksburg stuff, but obviously you had other commitments, which is fair
absolutely.
enough, you know. But
And I do look forward to speaking with him when we get to the uh, Gary
yeah,
Owen pub in
yeah, that's
Gettysburg,
going to be good.
January 27th.
Are you going to be streaming that live? Oh yeah. Well, you let me know what time that is, because then I can share it away.
Oh man, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it because this will be my first time speaking since COVID, really, and also one of my first actual live speakership chances to actually go into a topic in person. So all the stuff I've done online and all this stuff I've done there, this will be my first moment actually going out and speaking. So I'm very excited for that, and I hope that all the times I've spent on Zoom or Restream or even with you in front of that camera that has prepared me for the live audience and all this the walking
But
tours
I
I've
think it
done.
probably has, because I think particularly when we was pointed out to this group, and the pair of us didn't bat an eyelid, you know. It was like we'd been standing up talking to people for ages, you know. So I think you'll be all right, mate. You seem quite calm, and yeah, okay, it's different once you get there, but I think you'll be okay. You're used to talking to an audience, so you'll do a great job. And then you've got well, you're gonna have to start studying for that round table
That's
thing
right, and
in two.
I
I
have
know
them
it's
pulled out
very
too.
late, right? But still, you know.
Yep, I have two speakerships this year with them, which is going to be really exciting because I haven't again traveled even to speak to, and it's a topic I care quite a bit about. So
Yeah,
I'm very excited to start studying further into that. I have a little bit of studying done so far, and I've been working on some other pieces of that study lately. But I think getting to spend majority of this upcoming year studying, it's going to take me down a journey I never expected. And again, I've brushed the surface just vaguely, just a little bit, and then to now take this full leap into this study, it's gonna be great. I
yeah.
think it's gonna be an unexpected journey. I'm gonna find a lot of things that I probably didn't expect to find.
What was really cool that came out of the meeting was when you obviously discussed your great grandfather. or great
That's exciting
grandfather.
stuff too. Yep,
Who,
and I've already
he's the
got some
guy
stuff
you're
for that.
discussing that with, and he turned around and went, I'll put him in my next book if you want. And I'm not being funny, ladies and gentlemen. I thought Tyler was going to actually pass out. His
Almost.
reaction was priceless. I wish I had the camera with me. He literally like just looked like he was going to pass out. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm
look,
really excited for
yeah.
that.
I mean, it is about
Very
artillery,
grateful.
and it's a big part of it, you know. So, you know, Parker's battery,
Hardy,
awesome.
you'll not have any problem speaking to a group. You know your stuff and will be great. Well, I really appreciate that. I seriously, you guys are always the reason I do this and talk to you guys. 'Cause
And
without y'all, I
guys,
wouldn't have anyone to talk to.
I hope you saw Tim's stuff today. I haven't rewatched it yet, but I was there live, and this
Tim is
guy
an
is just
incredible man when it
amazing.
comes to that.
He is our chief historian. That's it. End of. Everyone's
Indeed, he
sort
is.
of forming their roles now, and I would say he's the chief historian of the Unfiltered.
I'd say so.
I'm not taking that anything away from anybody else, but when
No,
it comes to remembering the minute like details, him is the guy.
yeah, he's on it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very impressed. Actually, before Tim went last night, he gave me a little bit of. He walked me through the streets of Fredericksburg and gave me a little history on that. So that was pretty cool.
Hardy, so I could listen to you for hours. Come to think of it, I have listened to you. Man, that's awesome. Thank you
So
so
there you
much for
go.
just
There you
taking
go.
a chance to listen to us ramble on about history. We're all history nerds here, so if you're, definitely like-minded people, if you're listening to us ramble on for hours. Oh man, I
So
really appreciate your
what's
viewership.
next then, Tyler? What are we going to be focusing on next? You think?
Well, now Antietam is something I need to bring up again, and again, here's our rambling Hardy. I have always had an affinity for Antietam, and always had sort of just a general interest gone wild at one point this year. Even into early last year, I was very thoroughly involved with trying to study Antietam more, and it kind of just slipped out from under me. No rhyme or reason why. I
Yeah,
let
it
it kind
slipped
of
out
fade.
from under me as well. I got sort of that sort of thing. I started studying it, and then something else came up, and I sort of dropped it.
And with a lot of the situations in my life that have changed, I now have somewhat of an availability to go up to Antietam more frequently than I have had before.
I think
Because
that was definitely a good
I'm
idea.
not
Yeah.
even kidding. I have been very seriously considering taking another trip to Antietam before Christmas.
Oh.
I can't help it, man. That field we haven't walked yet, the field I've never been out on, is just calling my freaking name, and I'm like,
You
I need
know,
to.
I stood there that morning, and I didn't even notice the Dunker Church guys. It was quite weird and funny.
That was
And
awesome.
I was too busy chatting like I normally do. I mean, I got told off so much for chatting, and I got told off
No,
for just
you
having
got to
fun,
meet
you
the
know.
timekeepers. You got to. That's what we call
And yeah,
ourselves.
and I got my ass kicked a few times, but yeah. So I'm standing outside the visitor centre, and Tim went to me. You do know what's over there, don't you? Over your right shoulder. Oh, blimey, yeah. I was
Oh,
gobsmacked.
it's right in your face, and
It
sometimes
was
you can
like
get so
right
caught up
there, and
in
I didn't
Civil War
even see
history.
it.
Yeah,
It
it's a
was
mystery.
so good.
But did you
But
like Antietam overall? Was the experience of going up
yeah,
there?
but
Yeah,
the thing is, what I got from it is that I know it's a big field, but it seemed standing on the ground, it looked smaller than it does on a map. I don't. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I get it completely.
It looks quite a small battlefield when you actually look at it and stand there. Um, yeah, it was actually my favourite part was standing where the batteries was on the crest. To be honest with you,
Over there by the
and
visitor center in Dunker
yeah,
Church.
I'm a little bit. I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't get any like feel there or any. I never got any energy or anything from Antietam
No.
as far as apart from the cemetery maybe. But I thought I was going to get like an overwhelming feeling like at some of the places, but I just didn't.
Well, and sometimes that happens. It's
I've
not
had that
because
getting there. I thought it would be the same, say for instance at the Sunken Road, but I didn't. Didn't feel any. I didn't feel the energy
And this
I
also
felt
wasn't one
before.
of those trips where you can literally just kind of go and let the battlefield speak to you. You know what I mean? And now when I say speak to you, I don't mean you're going to start hearing voices coming out of the ground or the trees or anything of that matter. But there are just ways you can get connected with a battlefield. And sometimes when we're working, and I don't want to call it working because this is passion, this is fun, this is what we love to do. But when we're out there
Not well.
filming and talking, it's not working by any means. But when we're doing all this stuff, it's not hard to get that connection. But sometimes when the phones are away, and we're gonna have some moments like that, especially when you come back over to the States. I want to do another Antietam trip where we
Yeah.
actually
Oh,
don't do
also,
any.
massive shout out to a guy called Ted that we met
Yes,
at Spot, and then obviously later on, and so he came out for the whole day, didn't he? He lives at
yes, he
Martins,
did.
but I don't know whether he's on social media, so whether he listens to this or not, I don't know. But if he's not, we need to get him set up somehow, don't we? Because
Yeah, no
he's
kidding. So
missing
we can
out
get it listening.
on listening to stuff, you know, 'cause he enjoys our stuff, you know.
And
But he
Spotify
got
is free, and we're on YouTube too. This all goes on YouTube. So if he just
yeah.
types in on YouTube, he
Um,
can see it.
the best thing is this guy got to watch everything live there and then,
He did, yeah, absolutely. He watches behind the scenes, if you will.
and he's such a lovely guy. To be honest with you, there's not anyone I've met that I didn't like, you know.
Good.
Apart from this one guy, I can't remember his name. I think his name was Tyler Sausage. Or something. No, one second.
I have no idea what you're talking about, sausage.
Tyler McGraw. No, he was nice too.
Oh, he was a good guy. You were a great guy too, man. It was amazing to have the conversations we did because I had an entirely full week of Civil War talk, and that was awesome. I definitely got to fix that. Now I'm like, how am I supposed to fill this whole conversation void I've got with Civil War history? Because I'm over here peeling through Antietam books, trying to figure out some of the stuff we saw in my head and just make sense of the Rockledge incident with the Iron Brigade. Who am I going to go and talk to about all this with? Oh, I know.
I know,
Unfiltered.
yeah. Who are you going to talk to? Yeah. Well, one thing you're definitely going to need to do, mate, is while you've got your 2 weeks off, is focus on you know what, and get that in there like we discussed, and watch it go.
Boop.
Yeah. I love Jason.
That was awesome. That whole
Jason talks
experience of the
straight.
swale too. That was a powerful experience,
I
man.
think, you know, I think from last I looked this morning, that picture had reached 6,000 people. Um, it's probably gone even crazier yet. That there's little candid picture is the best one. It just encapsulates the unfiltered historian. When have you ever seen any of the other guys go and lay in the swale?
I know. I had to. I felt.
That's the first, you know. Although apparently Tyler did it in the road once.
Did I?
I don't know. That's what you told me. He
So
laid in
I've
the
done.
street.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I have done it. But I was like, wait a minute. The road one. The one that you're speaking of. Yes, I have done that before, and it was still a powerful experience to do that in the road over there. That was recently too. I was with Daryl when I did that,
And
and
another very, very popular picture is the Chamberlain Slurpee. That had to be done, and it was done, you know.
mm-hmm.
But just don't ask the people who Chamberlain is, because they
What?
don't know.
They don't. You tried. He was like, "Is Josh Chamberlain in the back there?" And they looked at him like, "I was like, there, don't do
And
it, don't
yeah,
do
can I
it."
just bring up another little thing? Who was that woman in the bookshop? Because she had some banter.
Dean, I'm so she did. She came
She
packed with.
gave me 4 bookmarks with 250 America on it, and kept winding me up all the time. But not only that, she made me spend £100.
Hold on, let me just answer Tim real quick. He called to let him know we're live. Sorry, guys. Darren, what time? You said your flight's at 10.
Yeah, so it's 2051. Obviously, I'm on your time tonight for a change. I'm actually I'm actually live on on this platform at the same time as you.
That's a first.
And of course, I've been sleeping the same time as you, so I'm on the same time frame in my brain as well.
Right, and then it's gonna flip
So
right back.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna be crying. Yeah, no, yeah.
So do you have
But
anything else you'd like to talk about?
yeah, so I want to talk about my experience at the cemetery this morning, actually. So I took myself out this morning quite early because I wanted to. Yeah, sorry, I wanted to.
You're good.
I thought she was talking to me then. Sorry, the woman started shouting. I thought she was shouting at me. Shut up. Anyway, shut up, you bitch. I'm interested. Right, so yeah. Anyway, I went out to the cemetery, but first I went for breakfast at the Battlefield Cafe.
The
Sorry,
new unofficial
restaurant.
name.
Had a beautiful breakfast. And the reason I went out early is because I wanted to go to the location where the 4th US Infantry ended their battle, got hunkered down. The 3rd US Infantry, they actually got stuck in the cemetery, but they didn't get stuck in the Confederate part. They got stuck in the civilian part. And then I actually walked the cemetery this morning. And I've got to say, I was taken aback by this reef laying thing that's going on at the moment. So every cemetery I've seen today has got a reef lay to it. So it's called, what's this tradition about, you know?
The wreaths across America. I know it's a bunch of folks get together and decorate some of the cemeteries with wreaths during the Christmas time, and it's a wonderful organization too.
And honestly, it's just beautiful. Now, Antietam Battlefield, cemetery yesterday was just, wow, you know. I mean, that monument in the middle of the cemetery is something else.
Yeah, it
I
is.
was highly
Si-
impressed with that place.
Old
That was
Sam
awesome.
or Old Simon, excuse
I,
me.
I had goosebumps in there. You know, that's why I had to do my own little film. I know we both did a film on that yesterday, but I had to talk about that. I couldn't hold it in. You know, that was amazing.
It was. That is a very beautiful cemetery too. We had our own experiences also with the Fredericksburg National Cemetery. That's another fantastic one as well to be able to walk there. And if you want to get a powerful
That
experience,
has definitely got a little place in my heart. Yeah.
it
We,
does.
I mean, we had, you know, we finished a real good set of videos up there. You know, and again, like we keep telling people, I think we probably haven't told the audience here, but I mean, we sat at the Battlefield Cafe and we watched the sun shining and coming up, shining on the mound, or you know, that it looks like steps, don't they, that go up to the cemetery, and it was shining on the Fifth Corps monument. But of course, as if people remember, it steps behind the cemetery as we finished the video. That was really cool, you know.
I think so too.
And yeah, it was just a fantastic experience, and I'll never forget it, you know. But it's not the last time either. I shall
No,
definitely
not
be
at
back.
all. It's not. So, should we talk about our books?
Yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, I've not looked at it. I've got my copy ready in my bag for the plane. Um, talk about your books. Well, I think we're going to have to do another episode when I get home and get settled.
Yeah, we could.
I bought a few. I mean, I got gifted a few books, guys, but I did actually buy a few. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a little episode, maybe like next week. Well, not next weekend, it's Christmas, but as soon as we can,
Mhm.
and we'll do a little episode about what books we got at Fredericksburg, maybe.
Yeah, no, I got some at Antietam when I was up yesterday. I only got a few while I was up there, but
Yeah, they've got a few.
Too Useful to Sacrifice
Hmm.
by Stephen R. Stottlemyre. This came recommended me from Ted actually when we were walking around Spotsylvania, and he was telling me, there's this book that made him really. Oh, it's I should say thought provoking. It was a very thought provoking look at General McClellan, and it really made him reconsider some of the things he initially believed about McClellan. And a lot
That's
of
right.
us tend to be
That's right.
very
So that was
right.
Ted, wasn't it? That said that, yeah.
Yeah, Ted was the one that recommended this one. I
Yeah.
saw it as soon as we went to the visitor center, so I was like, well, I
That's
know which
yeah.
one I am bringing with me. And then another one that I found while I was in the visitor center was one that I have actually sort of been looking for a while, and that's The Unholy Sabbath by Brian Matthew Jordan. I was looking to try to get that at a visitor center at some point. So it's about the Battle of South Mountain in history and memory. So I'm also looking forward to reading that because I think in order to understand Antietam, it's very important to also kind of understand what happens at South Mountain in September
Yeah.
that leads up to what happens at Antietam.
And maybe that should be your next trip with Tim to South Mountain, and then you know,
South
because
Mountain is on the agenda for
if I
sure.
get
I
long enough
definitely want
over
to get
there,
up there.
you know, when I come back next time, if I get long enough, then that's something I want to do.
And then
I
one
want
book
to
that
go
came
to
in
South Mountain first.
coincidentally right before you came out here was there in Maryland, which is the Army of Northern Virginia from the Potomac crossing to Sharpsburg in September 1862. And being that this came a little early, it was a little sign saying that, hey, you're going to be reading a lot of Antietam stuff alongside your studies. So I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember we tried to actually, I think, well, we didn't try. We did actually do a live, didn't we, for Antietam this year?
We did.
And we did cover a little bit of South Mountain and that. But next year, we're going to be a bit more organised and we're going to do lots of research and we're going to have lots to talk about.
I'm looking forward to that.
One thing I got from it was Burnside Bridge was quite powerful for me because one thing is this time of year, guys, so if you live in the area, go and visit Antietam this time of year when the leaves are all down because you really you can vision the Georgians up on the bluff. That's what you want to call it, slope, whatever you want to call it. But for some reason, I always had it in my head that at the Battle of Antietam, they were shooting straight onto the bridge. But it wasn't until I got there I realised actually, no, they wasn't. They were shooting onto their flank onto the bridge.
Right.
But I don't know why that is. Maybe it's a picture I've seen. Maybe it was a documentary I watched. I can't remember. But that is how I visioned it. But until I stood there, the light bulb went off when I stood there and went, oh, blimey, got that wrong, didn't I? Again, it just proves got to go and stand there and look at it.
I think everybody deserves a chance to get out there and see that because it's something else. It is. That's exactly what I was going to say. It is absolutely something else to see.
And then there's that little monument that you took us back to.
The 11th Connecticut.
Yeah, that's important. Apparently, it used to be quite overgrown, didn't it, Tyler?
Yeah, and then maybe it wasn't. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I thought that it was because I've never really seen that going through the battlefields, and I've walked that portion before quite a few times, whether I just wasn't looking at it something as plain as that, or whether it was overgrown at one point and I wasn't able to see it. Nonetheless, we finally took a trip up to it and visited the 11th Connecticut Monument, and were able to, I think, do a very, very powerful walk back.
I mean, like I said, I've enjoyed my trip, but I tell you, I can't wait to see my children tomorrow. Oh, I miss them so much.
Yeah.
Of course, my wife, but yeah. But honestly, it was worth the wait, worth waiting that time. Obviously, another highlight was obviously getting an 8-hour tour out of Chris Mikowski, He gave up his whole day for me, The guy put his, so he got behind on his marking up, and I mean, he finished it today, thankfully. But he didn't have to do that, and he did,
Mm-hmm.
He gave up his whole day just to help me out and take me around, And that meant a lot, So thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, for everything this week.
And we got a nice little preview from Terry and Chris a bit later on in the day, didn't we, Tyler?
We did.
And that's exciting. Very exciting.
I'm excited for it. It helped me understand a little bit more too about a battle I didn't know a lot about.
I don't know much about that part of that battle. I must admit, I've probably never even actually heard of it before.
Well, you got a good book to read that includes a little bit on it, so I would definitely look forward to hearing what you have to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of reading to do, man. So, are you doing Brigades of Antietam on the plane?
Sorry,
is this what you're reading on the plane?
I am going to go through that on the plane, yeah. But the problem is, it's such a big book. I might accidentally hurt someone with it. But
you should look if you're going. I don't know if you're going to take the advice of a lot of the guides
about this book. Is you don't have to read this book from cover to cover. This is like all different separate.
You're a step ahead of me.
It's like a fact-finding book type thing, isn't it? Like if you want to source a little bit of information, you go to this book.
Yep, and page 76 for you if you want to read about the Irish Brigade.
There's the Irish Brigade, but I think I'm going to be going into the regulars.
The regulars? Let me see where they're at. Hold on.
That guy that we spoke to that said about doing the artillery book, he said that he did a part about the regulars as well.
Yeah, the notes in here are astounding too.
But
regulars.
again, going to that meeting yesterday was meant to happen. It was just fate.
I think so too. And I was really happy to go into that meeting because this
And
is
yeah, that was something else.
invaluable information here, man. It's loud, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Do you know
Oh,
who is command? What's that?
I don't know. Someone's having a fit, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, I can see the plane. Anyway, it's out there.
Is it? Can we see?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, probably. But can I turn the? I don't think I can turn the camera around.
Oh,
We
probably
won't.
not.
It's too dark.
Is it too dark?
Yeah. But
I'm trying to find who was in command of the regulars at Antietam real quick so I can look them up. I honestly don't know.
Did you find out the other day? It's in
Buchanan?
I think it's at the beginning of the book.
The beginning of this one.
Yeah, I'm sure we looked at that last night when we got in.
We did.
When we
Yeah, I
forgot,
remember looking at that.
we got to see Carl McDonald's drink again. You see that big cup of lemonade just sitting up on the.
I did. I was like, oh my goodness. Double day. Let's see. I'm gonna find him here.
I was so tired last night. I don't even remember how I went when I went to bed. To be honest, I think I did my usual of snoring and dribbling everywhere.
I read for a little bit.
Yeah.
Before I went to bed, I was reading a little bit of Don Fonz's cemetery book, actually. Did I? I cannot find the regulars again. I see the Pennsylvania Reserves, which that's one I want to read too. I want to read about Magleton's Pennsylvanians a lot. Oh, I want to find them. Darren, anything else you'd like to chat about, man?
Not really. But again, I just want to emphasise, how grateful I am to all of the people that helped me out. And I'm going to say this is not the last time you're going to see me stateside. So don't worry.
I hope not.
And hopefully, eventually, one day, you might even get us on different battlefields in the West or somewhere like that. So
you got me to do a lot of studying then.
Yeah, I mean, mate, we're gonna have to study everything.
Yeah, we are.
That's what Tim's for.
That's what Tim's for. He already knows, but no, that's not what Tim. I think that I want to learn to start studying some of this stuff too.
His son is something else. I mean, there's a historian there, right in the making.
The future of history is safe.
He's the future.
It is.
But no, I mean, that's such a nice time, and I just thank you so much.
Of course, I'm glad you got to come and do this. Like I said, it was to me just an incredible experience having you out here and being able to just, connect with you for a week and be able to go out to these battlefields and share this experience of being on the field and talking about battles and, bouncing ideas of different things that could have happened in the war and what couldn't have, blah, 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 blah. But just in general, spending all that time on the battlefield and really causing to have some thought-provoking conversation between the two of us and hopefully with you guys too at home watching and taking part in this program with us. I hope it was awesome and I hope you guys had some thought-provoking things.
I hope you enjoyed it, and the content, there's still loads to come, guys. There's still a few videos that I've recorded off live, and I have got so many pictures unreal, so you're going to be seeing this stuff for a few weeks yet. One thing I do want to add is next week at some point we will be going live for an exclusive, because it's the American Civil War and UK history's birthday, and we're going to be celebrating it with a few guests.
That's right, and I look forward to that as well, folks.
Guess what, Americans?
What's that?
I've got an Englishman that's going to come and back me up. And you know what? So you can have your digs about the revolution all you want, but I'm going to have somebody on my side.
That's what I'm talking about. Darren, thank you so much for joining. If you want to stick around after we pop off the air for a second, just so we can finish up before you get on your plane, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and
close this
guys,
thank you for watching all of our content this week. It's been an absolute blast.
It has indeed. Thank you guys again so much for being around, and we will see you again on the next broadcast. if we don't see you before the holidays, have a fantastic holiday season, guys, and we'll see you afterwards. But you know how we are. We sporadically pop up sometimes.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I
yeah,
can't guarantee I'm not going to go out and say something. Darren may come
I
in.
mean, I can't see it personally because I've got work for 3 days, but we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see
we'll
what
see.
happens.
Something light.